I shall explain on process capability CPK, PPK concepts without going through any complicated calculation for CPK and PPK. It is important for you to understand the concepts before doing calculation for process capability in Ppk and Cpk. You will learn what is process capability, customers' specifications, process performance, and what is considered as good, marginal, or bad process capability, and why do we need to conduct process capability. At the end of this video, you will be able to explain process capability like a pro when attending job interview or present to your management. I have put in the timestamps in this video where you can skip to the section of your interest. Watch this video till the end and I have a surprise for you. Process capability study is to compare the voice of the process process variations. Every process, they have their own variations with the voice of the customers, which is the specifications limit. We shall learn more about that in the subsequent slides. It is an objective measurement on how well the process is able to produce products or parts which meet customers' specification. And it is able to estimate the defect rate of products which fail to meet specs and provide a valuable insights if variability is a problem or mean is a problem or both is a problem that we are unable to meet the specs and therefore needs improvement. Let's understand what is control limit, which is voice of the process VOP, and specification limit, which is the voice of the customers. The voice of the process VOP is represented by the control limit because control limit is calculated from the process variations, which is upper control limit and lower control limits. As stated, control limits are calculated from the process data itself, the process variations and the mean, and represents what the current process state is. That means what it is capable of doing, how many good parts is capable of producing, and can only be changed if there is a process change or process improvement, which the signal in the control charts will tell us if there is a common cause or special cause variation. I have put in a link to my YouTube video which explains more about common cause and special cause. Do check out that video if you would like to understand more about common cause and special cause. Whereas in the voice of the customers, it is represented by specs limit, upper specs limit, and lower specs limit. The specification limits are actually derived based on customers or engineering requirements. That means somebody assign a specs to it and represents what we want the process to do. Means that the process has to meet the specification limits or specification goals and can be changed if there is changing requirements. And the specification limit is actually used to separate good and bad parts. That means those that beyond the specification limits are considered as the reject parts. This is the illustration of the concept for process capability. In this diagram here, we have the voice of the process in red here, which is lower control limit and upper control limit. And we have the voice of the customers, which is represented by lower specs limit and upper specs limit, USL. As you can see that if we have the voice of the process, the variation is smaller than the total specs tolerance, then we consider this as a good process. In another scenario, we have the voice of the process. The variation or the spread is very big. It's bigger than the voice of the customers. Therefore, anything that is beyond the specs, the LSL and USL, it will consider as a defect. This type of process is not desirable in any manufacturing process because the potential of producing defects is very high, and definitely there will be defect. If you find this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel for more valuable insights and updates in manufacturing, supplier quality hacks to achieve consistently good quality products. By subscribing, you will be the first to know when I post new content. I would like you to do this exercise with me. Here we have the process variations, this one, and the specification limit. Do you think this is a good process? Definitely. Well done. And in B, we have process variations and specification limits, almost the same or same. What do you think of this process? Do you think it's a good process? I would think that it is a marginal process. Yes, it is a marginal process. Next, in scenario C, we have a process variation which is wider than the specifications. This is definitely a no-go. I do agree with you that this is definitely not a good process. It's not acceptable because anything that is beyond the specs is considered as reject. How about in D? It seems that the specification is here and the process variations or the process itself is at the other side towards the upper specs limit, which is over the specs limit. This is definitely a no-go, no-brainer, because half of the process or 50% of the parts that is produced will definitely be a reject. Good news! I'm giving away a free course on process capability study using Excel. You will learn everything you need to know about applying process capability study to improve the quality of your manufacturing process. Plus, the included Excel template, you can generate process capability data with a few keystrokes. Don't miss out on this amazing opportunity. Click the link below to get the instruction on how to join the course for free. I hope you found today's video helpful in gaining a better understanding of manufacturing, supplier, and quality engineering. I love to hear your thoughts on what topics you like me to cover. So feel free to share your comments below. If you find this video valuable, please share it with others who might benefit from it too. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to bring you a more insightful content in my future videos.